Hello, welcome. Today we have a VOD review on Oasis. Based on the title of the video, it looks like it's a gold platinum game. We got a Genji player. It looks like we're going for a 2-2-2. Alright, cool. I've never seen this video before, so I'll be commenting in real time. So let's talk about composition a little bit. This is a pretty interesting comp. You just have, it's kind of like a setup where you have 5 people working together, and then like Genji, who's going to be flanking, and then probably you'll have a Roadhog, maybe doing some flanks of his own and just putting like a ton of pressure around the map. So, all right, let's see. Okay, so right now I want Genji to be going left since he decided to go this route. I don't want him going down main. That's not where Genji excels. He excels at flanking. So I already don't like this, and I'm not really, well, actually, no, that's fine. It was unfortunate that Zarya gave you the bubble when you were looking to reflect. It happens. So again, I want you flanking. I don't want you pushing up main like this. Very good hook. Oh, man. Good, you went for that kill. Oh wow, your team let them get the point, but it looks like you guys are gonna win the fight. Okay, so I don't have a whole lot to comment so far. Just that I want you flanking more. Looks like their team played that really badly, and your team just outplayed them, so good on your team for that. So far with your reflex, they've been a little bit too, you don't get a whole lot of value out of reflex like that. You want to save, well, I don't want to say you need to save your reflex, but you want to be using your reflex in situations where you know you can anticipate a lot of damage is going to come out at once. The other situation is for when you're 1v1ing people. When you're flanking, you come from behind, you throw a couple shurikens, they turn around, and then at that moment you can anticipate sleep darts coming or whatever, just shots, and you can reflect them back, and then swift strike melee, and that's probably going to be a kill. So right now you're using it in such a way where you're just kind of generally frontlining them, like as if you were like a Reinhardt, and you're just saying, hey, I own this space for 2 seconds, you can't do anything to me, and you're not really returning a whole lot of fire back. So I'm not a big fan of your reflex so far. I'd like you to be more aggressive. And again, I want you flanking. Like what I want you to do right now is I'd like you to go behind this pillar and get around your opponents like so, right? That's going to give you a pretty good flanking route. The other thing you could have done is this whole time, after you guys had won that fight, you could have been already setting up for a flank and going like behind them this way, right? You could have used that little room, or you could have just gone like all the way around, and both would have been pretty effective. Instead, you're just kind of being, like I said earlier, you're kind of acting like a frontliner and just poking at them, and this is not where Genji excels at all. Okay, yeah, I like that. I don't know what the hell that Genji was doing. That was really dumb, but cool. You went for a fight there. So now is the time to get aggressive. It's a 6v5 if I'm not mistaken. Oh, and you don't have reflect. So this again. So right here, you use your reflect, and this is what I'm talking about. So like this kind of reflect doesn't really do a whole lot. If you maybe you were anticipating like a sleep dart, but I don't think she used it. Let's listen. Nope. She was now she used it. So you can see that like by using you're way too liberal with your deflects, and now you don't have them for when you actually need them. And a small misplay there. You could have swift struck behind that pillar. So just a small mechanical thing there. Again, that reflect, it doesn't do a whole lot. So again, I want you to be getting behind your opponents. Get behind them. Get behind them. You need to be flanking more. That is an okay reflect because you're anticipating the flashbang, and he's really close to you. Like if you, the closer you are with your deflects, the way more likely that you'll get something out of it and that it'll tag your opponents. So I really like deflects that when you're close to your opponents. When you're really far away, again, you're not going to get a whole lot of value at it unless you're like maybe you're anticipating a graviton surge or something like that. That would be a different story. Okay, cool. There should be some kills here. So a little bit slow on the Dragonblade, but with time you'll get better. I need you to be a little bit faster, but for like a platinum player, I would say that's okay. Okay, you're missing a lot of your shurikens. Oh, but you got a good one there. Finish the kill. Oh, you didn't have any left. Oh, you were out of shurikens. Okay, that was a pretty. That's not so great. Cool. You're anticipating. That's a good reflect. I like that. Or deflect. I like that deflect. His flashbang's down, so you're going for the kill. That's good. Finish that mercy. Nice. I want to commend you on your use of left and right clicks. You seem to know when to use one or the other. Good. Good, you go for the health pack. Excellent. And I like this ultimate. Good, you're finding the healers. Oh, you messed up. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so your Dragonblades are okay. They could use some work. Good. Good. Oh, you messed up that swift strike. Okay. Nice. I would have liked to see a reflect there. Okay, so again, you guys have just won that fight. I want you to find a flanking position. Yeah, like this, except maybe even a more aggressive one. I want you to get behind your opponents, and I don't like that you're backing off here. I'm okay with that deflect. Unfortunately, again, your Zarya gave you a bubble. Also an okay deflect. In that situation, I want you to get closer to McCree and look for right clicks. I don't like you gave him quite a bit of space. As Genji, you're much more, in my opinion, you're much more effective against a McCree when you're like dancing like on top of him and around him. You're gonna make it harder for him to shoot you, and because you're the one jumping around, it's gonna be easier for you to get your right clicks in. Okay. I'm assuming you guys just clean this up. You're gonna have Dragonblade. Just use it. Just don't be afraid to pop it. You really shouldn't be afraid to pop your Dragonblade right now. There you go. Oh, you messed that one up. Okay. Okay, so I'm assuming that's just cleanup now. Oh wow, this is lasting a really long time. Did you guys get it? Yeah, it looks like you got it. Okay, so let's talk about your strengths and weaknesses. So your strengths, you're pretty good about using your left clicks and your right clicks. You know when to switch between the two in general, except for that one time I would have liked for you to use your right clicks against that McCree. You get closer to him. What else? Your deflect, it needs a lot of work. You're way too liberal with it. I need you to save it for key moments. And it seems like right now you don't really understand when those key moments are. So yeah, just try to dial it back a bit. Your Swift Strikes seem like on point, like you know when to use them. You're very liberal with them, and I think in general that's a good thing. I would say that's kind of the balance. Like Swift Strike, you want to be using more liberally, and deflects, you want to save them for like key moments. So I think that's generally the balance. So okay, what else? Your Dragonblades, you use them at the appropriate times, I think. But yeah, see, like right there, that was a really weird deflect. Your Dragonblades, you use them at the right times, but you know you could use a little work about finding targets more quickly, because sometimes you find a target too late and then you were out of range for the attack. Yeah, so just, you know, maybe just that's just gonna take practice. What else? Okay, so now let's move on to the biggest thing, and actually right now we just saw an example of that. Is your positioning. You are not flanking nearly enough. In fact, I don't think I've seen you do it once this entire game. I haven't seen you once take the time to get behind your opponents, look for sneaky kills. Because a lot of times as Genji, if you hide behind a corner, especially against like Zenyatta's, if they don't know you're there and you get like one good right click, you just need like maybe another right click, Swift Strike melee, and they're dead. And you can do that against a lot of characters where you kill them in like maybe 2 seconds, and they have almost no counterplay there, assuming that you flank correctly and at the right times, etc., etc. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about timing for flanking. You want to flank at the beginning of a match. Good. I like that you respected that Mei there and you Swift struck away. So when do you flank? You flank at the beginning of a match, almost always. You flank after a team fight win. And let's see what else. You can start to flank after a team fight loss in certain situations where, like, maybe you kind of 1v1 someone on like away from the main fight, and then you can kind of crouch behind opponents while your team comes back from spawn. So I want you to be looking for more opportunities to flank. You don't always have to just be DPSing, you know, from the front and just, you know, throwing shurikens and throwing out deflects. Like, that is not what you want to be doing as Genji. That is not how you are effective. And don't get me wrong, there are times where it's okay to do stuff like that, but you're way too far on the other end of the spectrum where you are just not doing it nearly enough. Like, you want to be flanking maybe like, I'll just throw a number out there, like 80% of the time or something like that. And then that way you'll be absorbing a ton of pressure from your opponents. And if not, then you'll just be getting free kills all day. And either situation is good. Okay, great. So I think I've seen enough of your video to wrap it up. Just focus on those things. You know, micro-wise, I feel like you're a pretty good player. Mechanically, I'd put you at like a, I don't know, maybe even like diamond. But, you know, everything else, I'd put you at like maybe gold level, maybe even silver, in terms of like your decision making and your positioning. So, great, cool. I'll leave it at that. I hope this video was helpful.